I was sick. But it wasn't the type of sickness that could be detected with blood tests or x-rays. It is so easy to recognize. My condition was excessive busyness. Busyness was a disease I brought onto myself. It was self-created stress. But what is a disease? Most of us feel that we have an intuitive grasp of what the idea is. But according to the medical dictionary, a disease is an impairment that prevents the body and the mind from working normally, and it is manifested by unusual signs and symptoms. So let's talk about what a disease is. It is a dis-ease, where you are never at ease. Busyness was so destructive to my mental health and my being. I'm going to take you on a journey for 2.5 frantic years of my life, where I created a vicious cycle of being busy. So what were the symptoms that I have experienced? So number one, I dedicated almost every waking minute of my day to some work-related activity. Spring 2015, I juggled 3 different positions in the Students' Union. I was an accounting TA. I coached middle school, my lovely middle school girls for 4 years, and I rotated between 13 different clubs starting freshman year. So this is only a snapshot of what I have been doing. Class times. You'd think I'd be actively listening to my professor? No. Class times for me, I used to draft emails to send to my members or write permissions to different university offices. Toilet breaks, shower times. For us, these are the only 10 minutes of a day where we sing at the loudest as we can and we dance to our choreography in the shower. But for me, shower times and toilet breaks meant that I would practice my presentations, or I'd mentally draft all the term papers that I had to write. So every minute on my day must be accounted for. I always felt that I had to rush to my next destination, or I had to be checking something off of my list. Symptom number 2, my basic necessities lost priority. I barely slept, I never went to the gym, I skipped meals, I ate trash food, so my mental health was really going down the drain. Symptom number 3, I got infuriated from the smallest things. Stressed, it made me a grumpy, it made me a very unhappy woman. And I think my mom is the biggest advocate of this. My mind was so overloaded that I didn't have the capacity to perceive any information calmly or logically. Symptom number 4, I was unhappy. I was mighty unpleasant. I constantly felt heavy. I constantly felt burdened. And when anyone asked me, Salma, how are you doing? Or Salma, how's it going at your end? I never answered Alhamdulillah anymore. But my answers, they range from a scale from I'm busy, or I'm crazy busy, or I never have a minute to scratch busy. But when things got a toll on me, I answered I'm a zombie mode busy. So as I've experienced, busyness, critically reduced the quality of my life. It was a sort of obsession. It was an addiction, and it is so challenging to stop, just as you're addicted to cigarettes or shopping for some women. So my journey doesn't end here. Summer 2015, as everyone is busy going to Sahel or posting pictures on Instagram of the sea, of the sand, hashtag no filter or hashtag fun in the sun, I was busy taking an intermediate accounting course in AUC. And not only that, but applications for the Students' Union has opened, and I wanted to apply as a chair. And for those of you who don't know, a chair is a big deal, and I guess people from university are walking or living proof of this. So I've learned so much in the past 2.5 years, and I felt it was going to put to waste if I missed this opportunity. So I did, and I applied. So after second round of interviews, Mustafa Gamal, the current president of the Students' Union, he told me that I'm going to reply in a week with the final result. So as the week passed, fear was the only controlling emotion I felt. I prayed in silence, يا رب أنا مش عايزة position ده, أنا فعلا مش عايزة chair. And it was really weird because why did I put myself in agony? Why did I apply from the very beginning and wasted so much time on writing a 30-page plan, and then I realized I just don't want it. So Thursday has passed, and as fast as it was Friday, and then it was Saturday morning. The only image that I could see really clearly in front of me was my chair last year, and I know that I didn't want to be him. He barely put his life together, and this was the moment I realized that it's my last semester. This is not what I want to do. It's not how I want to spend it. So Mustafa was supposed to call at 10, and he did not. So I called him at 12 a.m. and I told him, Mustafa, أنا مش عايزة أكمل. And then there was this very long pause in the phone call. فمصطفى راح قال لي طب سلمى يعني هل أنا ضايقتك في حاجة حصلت؟ فقلت له لا، هو أنا فعلا مش عايزة أتسحل. أنا فعلا حسيت قد إيه السنين اللي فاتت كنت فايتني بجد حاجات كتير قوي، وهي دي اللحظة اللي أنا فعلا قلت أنا مش عايزة أكمل. So at this very moment, I decided that I wanted to my business rest in peace. I wore business like a badge of honor, only there was no honor to be had. And then I thought to myself, why did I do this to myself, or how did I end up living like this? When did I forget that I was a human being and not a human doing? When do we forget that there is more and more time for stuff to do, and there is less time for leisure, less time for reflection, and less time to just be? When did we forget that we can have conversations with the people that matters to us the most, with no silences and no pauses and no rush to fill? But is this disease contagious? Yes. Patient after patient are suffering from this condition. So I want a show of hands. I'm sure that you can all recall at least 5 people who are a victim of this disease. And you know why? It's because we are preconditioned to believe that this is the pattern of behavior that we have to follow. So our parents, they model for us. They work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. They do chores in the weekend. So lines between the work and home have been blurred. We're always are on our devices all the freaking time. So without feeling, we started to model these behaviors to children and to our siblings that we encounter. So they started to believe that this is the pattern of behavior that they have to follow. We always pick up to the pace and the energy of those around us, but it shouldn't be this way. So at this moment, I felt of the price that I paid for being busy. What was the price that I paid? So when I gave into my business, I know I was missing out. I was missing out on an extraordinary amount of time, of being present, of being wholeheartedly present with the people that I love the most. So what was the price that I paid? It was intimacy. It was this closeness that we all crave. We all want to be loved, and we all want to give love. We all want to receive love. But to really love someone, to truly love someone, we have to be there. Not one eye on our laptops and one eye on our parents. Not one eye on our siblings and one eye on our iPhone. We need to be there wholeheartedly present. And business robbed me of this intimacy. And I'm sure it robs every single one of you from this intimacy. So I thought to myself, why would a grown woman like myself voluntarily create stress in her life? Like, who would do that? I found the answer, and it's not pretty cool. It was because I was afraid of myself. We are all afraid of ourselves because we live in a society that celebrates activity. We are all defined by what we do, by our careers, by what we produce. So it's the first piece of information that we share in a gathering. You know what? أنت بتشتغل إيه? So what do? We give out a business card. So we reduce ourselves to this 4 centimeter by 5 centimeter piece of paper. We started to believe that the more we do, we are going to be more worthy than others. And the less we do, we are at least worth less than the people who are doing more. I'm not here to give you any magical solution for this, but I think I've come to the realization that we are really not living a truly human life. We all know what we want. We all want a balanced life. We all want a meaningful existence. But we are not following in these footsteps. You know, I read in an article that in all Muslim cultures or in all Arabic cultures, when you ask someone in Arabic, how are you doing? It is كيف حالك or كيف حالك. So you're actually asking about the hal. So what is this hal that we inquire about? It's a state of our heart. So when I ask you, how are you doing? I'm asking you about how is your heart doing at this really moment. I'm not asking how many items are on your to-do list or how many emails that are in your inbox. I really want to know how your heart is doing. So next time, pause. Examine yourself. Examine your heart. Examine your soul. And then share it. Tell me something about your heart and tell me something about your soul. So fall 2015, I let my business rest in peace. I decided that I don't want to define myself by my doing and define myself by my being. I stopped defining myself by the time on the clock and started to measure the experiences and measure time with all the precious experiences I shared with those around me. I took a promise. I took a promise that I would slow down. Slowing down for me, it takes an incredible amount of effort. But I'm trying to do things differently. And I really hope that my parents, my brother, my friends see that I'm really trying to be present, to listen to you and to reflect on your existence and my existence. So fall 2015, I chose to live it today and to embrace all what matters in life.